All right, welcome back to another Level Up segment. All right, as always, if you got any questions, comments, you want to learn how to better your marriage, you want to learn how to become a better brother, a better leader, a better wife, a better parent, you can email us or you can leave your comments in the comment section on the YouTube videos. All right, but with that, we're going to deal with something. That's been bothering me as of late. It's been a situation that's been going on where it's a lot of weakness that's happening, especially with you brothers. It's a lot of weakness, a lack of conviction, a lack of sacrifice.
Oh my God.
A lot of y'all are comfortable here. For example, give me that second video, the one with Jordan Peterson. I think that's that Edomite name. Yeah, give me that real quick.
It's unbelievable how little genuine encouragement many people need and how they had none. No one ever said to them and meant it. It's not okay for you to be a weak loser. It's not okay. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be way more than that. And it's a crime, an ethical crime, for you to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. Really, really, it does. And people think, oh, okay, I get it.
And that's a heavy, heavy, heavy point, especially within the nation of Israel. It is a crime to be weak. It is a crime to lack conviction. It is a crime to lack purpose. It is a crime to be self-willed and only care about yourself, be lazy and shiftless when there's so much work to be done. Real quick, give me Job chapter 38 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Esau understands this. Other nations understand this, but yet the gods on the earth, the true gods on the earth, the only gods that the Lord left, we have a problem with that. Job chapter 38, read verse 3.
Yes, sir. Job chapter 38 and verse 3. Gird up now thy loins like a man.
Gird up now thy loins like what?
Like a man.
As a man, we have to be ready to take on all challenges, all difficulties. We are not here to be comfortable. We are here suffering a punishment, paying out a debt that was placed on us from the Lord. The Lord sent us here because we disobeyed, because we went against the covenant. And now we sit up here and act like we're supposed to be comfortable. We sit up here and act like everything is supposed to be lavish and due on our time. We the ones that set the world back in order. And in order to do that, we have to endure hardness. Read it again.
Gird up now thy loins like a man. For I will demand of thee, and answer thou me.
Give me second Esdras. As a matter of fact, real quick. Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. And then if you can pull up the slide real quick. It should be not the picture of the mining, but the other picture I sent. Micah chapter 4 and verse 10.
Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth.
The Bible says to be in pain and labor. This truth is not about convenience. This work is not about when you feel comfortable doing it. There's a lot of weak men right now that are looking to us as examples on how to be strong. That's the reason why our society is the way it is now. Bishop Yawasop brings this out all of the time. I love that meme. Weak men create what?
Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men.
Weak men create hard times. We are in a generation of nothing but weak men right now. Men that lack temperance. Men that lack goals and ambitions. Men that only serve their bellies and their diverse lusts. That's weakness. That's not strength. It doesn't matter how many women you pull. The fact that you can't handle one and marry that woman, that is a sign of weakness. The fact that all you can do is get drunk at 10 a.m. to escape your reality because you can't deal with the situation, that's weakness. And that's why we're in the hard times that we're in now. So now you flip that. Many of you brothers are learning who you are. You're coming to your identity. You're learning the great, rich history of you. The greatness that is to become of you. That is to come. And yet you would still want to live at the base You would still want to live below your means, below your standards that the Lord set forth for you. It's insane. Read it again.
Be in pain and labor to bring forth.
You have to be in pain and labor. There's going to be long nights. There's going to be days where you're exhausted. If this truth was about convenience, officers, if this truth was about convenience, none of us would be here.
Nothing would get done.
Nothing would get done. If this truth was about convenience, how would our brothers in Papua New Guinea, how would our brothers and sisters in Papua New Guinea hear this word? How would our brothers and sisters that's all throughout Africa hear this word? Germany, Netherlands, all those different Eurocentric countries. How would they hear this gospel if this truth was all about convenience? Go ahead,
sacrifices wasn't being made because brothers got to take time off from their jobs, time off from their families, and to go out to various territories, uncharted territories, to at the risk of their lives as well. So a lot of sacrifices have to be made for the things that we see now are manifesting to come to fruition. Sacrifice is behind everything that's being done right now. Every work that's being done in IUIC on every level, there's some form of sacrifices. That's why the Lord said we have to offer up spiritual sacrifices. The spiritual sacrifices is literal sacrifices you make to put yourself on the back burner and decide to put God first and do the Lord's work. That's the sacrifice. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Excellent point. Excellent point. You got those slides queued up, right? Romans chapter 12 and verse 1, dealing with sacrifice. The Lord told us to do this. Watch this.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Just like Officer Jalil said, those spiritual sacrifices also manifest into the physical sacrifice as well. You are sacrificing your body. You are sacrificing your energy. You are sacrificing your time. You are putting your life on the line. That's what the scripture says. Make your body a living sacrifice. If this was all about convenience, nothing would get done. We'd still be here. As a matter of fact, because some brothers care about convenience, that's the reason why we're still here. Our job is to wake up the elect. Our job is to spread the gospel to the four corners of the earth. That's a light thing the Lord said. The Lord said that's a light thing that you should wake up my children, Jacob. That's easy. But yet all we care about is our convenience. When it works out and it's beneficial for us. Go ahead, Officer Reuben.
Officer, that's heavy what you're saying because convenience keeps us in captivity. Now imagine if the Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X, what if it was just convenient for them? Would you have what you have right now, this little freedom? What if Christ himself, what if convenience was for him, Peter, Paul, the apostles? How would we have gotten this gospel for us to wake up? You know, if your life is an emergency, if you're serious about it, you hate your life in this day, change it. And the only way to change it is to do what God says. When we repent, what was on the shirt? Repentance is revolution. And in your repentance, we can't be docile. You can't be weak.
Give me Matthew chapter 19, Shaw, and read on verse 27.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all.
So Peter was the head disciple that Christ set in charge after he left. Christ said to Peter what? Read.
Behold, we have forsaken all.
I mean, Peter asked a question to Christ. He said what? We have forsaken all and said what?
And followed thee.
So we forsook everything and followed you. Read. We sacrificed everything and followed you. Read.
What shall we have therefore?
What shall we have? Because there is a reward for our sacrifices. And you have to keep that in mind. We're laboring the decisions that we made when we put the Lord first. There is a reward for that. But the problem comes in now in our belief system where do we actually believe that there's a reward for the sacrifices that we make for the truth? Because if we did see that there's a reward, then we would go all in for it. But the problem is it's a fate thing. You understand? And I'm still growing into this mentality right here. I don't fully got this figured out. We got to make sacrifices on different levels. We've grown throughout the years, and growth has to continue. And as you grow, you have to identify the areas where you have to make further sacrifices for the truth. Read.
And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So that's the reward. The reward is the kingdom of heaven, living forever. The earth belongs to you. All riches, all that belongs to you. You have no complaint or need for or lack of anything. Read.
And everyone that hath forsaken houses.
So some of us are going to have to forsake houses. And the reason why this is a big thing, a lot of us are caught up in our physical materialistic things that we possess. Some of us are caught up with the pride of life, where we are defined by the things that we have and what we have accomplished in this life. And we put all of our energy towards that and put Christ and the work for the truth on the back burner. We put that secondary. Read.
Or brethren.
Sometimes you're going to have to forsake brothers because they are an impediment to your walk in this truth. Read.
Or sisters.
Or sisters. Read.
Or father. Or mother. Or wife.
Or wife.
Or children. Or lands.
Right.
For my name's sake.
So the reason why I'm saying father, sister, brethren, mother, or wife is because these people are getting into the way of you actually serving the Lord. And some of us idolize these people and you want to keep them around. You think there might be a chance and this and that. Well, they're trying to pull you out of the truth. You have to get rid of these people. Read.
Shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life.
So that's our reward. But do we believe that we will receive the reward? Because if we believe in something, then you put your actions will attribute to what you believe in. Like for people that do the lottery, right? You have faith that you might be able to win millions of dollars. That's why you go to the store, you buy them scratch off tickets or whatever, you scratch them off. Some people are successful with it, but some people are not. But the reason why people do it, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, is because of people's belief that they might have the chance to win something, and they put the money towards that belief. And that's the thing that we have to do in this truth. We have to invest and sacrifice our time, our energy, our livelihood. It has to be sacrificed for the benefit of this truth, because we're trying to resurrect a nation. That's what's going on right now. Keep reading.
Verse 30. But many.
Okay, that's it. You can make your point. I got one more point I want to make. But
Absolutely. With that, real quick, get that video queued up.
The 7 signs of weak men and how to build unshakable strength. Weak men destroy society and the family social institution than any external force ever could.
Stop. Real quick. Just got to land on that. It said weak men destroy society more than any other external force ever could. A lot of times we like to go on and blame Esau. Esau did hinder us. Esau hurt us. They traumatized us. They oppress us. They oppress us even now. But those things that were done to us, those things that were given to us, we had the option to stand strong against them at one point in time.
And there's a reason why the Lord put Esau over us is because of our actions to begin with.
Right.
So the reason why we make statements like that, it's because of a lack of accountability. That's what it is.
That's about to go right into the video. You right on point. Go ahead.
It's not about physical strength. It's about how you handle life when it hits hard.
And that goes into
Stoics
and that goes into conditioning, mental conditioning. That's why it says you must be renewed by the spirit of your mind. Your mind has to be conditioned to have that faith that you were talking about earlier. You have to see yourself in these scriptures. You have to see the things that are being written of you, of what your forefathers did. And you have to see those things and condition yourself. That takes time, like Officer Job was talking about earlier. That takes a level of increase that each and every single one of us has to get to. But we can't walk around with these weak excuses that we can't do it or we don't want to do it because it's too challenging or too demanding of us. Play on.
Mastered this centuries ago, and their wisdom reveals exactly what separates strong men from weak ones. The 7 deadly signs of weak men. 1. You're easily triggered by words. Every criticism cuts deep. Every insult ruins your day.
That's the emotional brother. Go ahead.
Strong men understand that other people's opinions are just noise. They don't define your worth. 2. You're addicted to validation.
That's a man pleaser. Go ahead.
Without constant praise, you feel empty. You need others to tell you you're good enough. Real strength comes from internal validation, not external approval. 3. Nothing is ever your fault.
That's the point that Officer Jalil literally just made, lacking accountability. All of these signs of weak men, if you really pay attention to them, they actually are operating in the role of femininity. That's an imbalance in men. I see you already ready to cook. Go ahead.
That's why the Bible says these are they which are not defiled with women.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of us were raised by women in this society, and we grow up in life having a lot of feminine traits, and we deal with problems from a feminine standpoint. When life hits you, trials start to hit you, you deal with it how your mother taught you to deal with your problems, because your father wasn't there. And that's also a form of you being defiled woman. You have a woman's mentality. You look at life through a woman's lens.
Damn. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Bad luck, bad timing, bad people. Always someone else to blame. Weak men point fingers. Strong men take ownership and fix problems. 4. You avoid anything uncomfortable.
That's the person that can't stand challenges. That's the person that can't deal with conflict and resolve conflict manfully. We're going to get into all of these with the scriptures. I just want to get the video out the way. Go ahead.
Hard conversations, challenging work, moments of silence. You run from it all. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and weak men choose comfort every time. 5. Your emotions run the show. One bad moment destroys your entire day. One setback spirals into self-pity. Strong men feel emotions, but don't let emotions control their actions. 6. You demand respect without earning it. You expect others to bow down simply because you exist. Real respect is earned through consistent action, not demanded through tantrums. 7. You're always unprepared. Life keeps blindsiding you because you never plan ahead.
That's the brother that can't prioritize, he can't plan, he's not effective as a leader. Everything always catches him by surprise. He's always, oh, I wasn't aware that was gonna happen. But you're supposed to be a man, a leader. You're supposed to be prudent, have a thought or a care for the future. Go ahead. It's
You
almost
react
done.
instead of respond. Strong men prepare for storms before they hit. Here's the truth. Weakness isn't permanent. The Stoics proved that mental toughness is a skill you can
All right,
develop.
you can drop that. They always talking about Stoics and all that. No, the Bible is the one that shows that. What you had, Officer Reuben?
Officer, you know, Paul told Timothy this in 2 Timothy chapter 2, exactly what you're saying. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3 and 4.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
But what's a soldier? Well, officer, wasn't you're a soldier, right? You were trained in everything. You was military minded in all that. Well, what's a soldier? You have to be broken down. You gotta go through boot camp. You understand? There's a whole process of being in God's army. So if he called you to be a soldier, something is happening. Read on.
Verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Meaning you get caught up with this state of mind, with this world. Oh, I'm too comfortable. I like the way that I'm living. I got it going on. You know? Read on.
That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
So God called all the men here soldiers. So if we're soldiers, we got to act militant and we got to act like soldiers. Soldiers are ready to die. That's what we prepare our spirit for in our mind. And that's why Officer Shatiel brought out in Romans chapter 12, verse 1. We got to renew our mind. How many of you here is actually willing and ready to die as a soldier is when he goes to the battlefield? You may not come back. We go to camp. We don't know if we're coming back. Like Officer Jalil brought out earlier, brothers travel cross country. They
Even
don't
with
know.
brothers that go to camp, because we got to put us in there. We got to put us, because the most we do, MOV, we train the best we can to mitigate threats. We train for that, right? But when it comes to an actual gun being put to your head, we don't do that in MOV, right? Them high level threats, life-threatening things. Not everything we go over is some things is certain levels we have to grow to, and the Lord brings us step by step through each stages. If you examine the growth of IUIC as a whole, it's been through stages and stages, and the more we grow, the stronger we get, the more tedious the test. And if we pass the test, then we have a spiritual increase where the congregation unanimously grows to another level, and once the Lord sees fit, then we deal with the next threat. Like, for example, we dealt with 2018. That was preliminary threat stuff, because the higher levels of threats that we got to deal with is the U.S. government, is the so-called Israeli government, and with persecution and the fear of death. Like, that's a whole nother level. You understand? So when we make these assessments, we're included in it too. Like, okay, the Lord gave us rank and gave us the opportunity to be able to teach and bring out certain understanding. Like, each of us got a different perspective. We say the same things in the scriptures, but the Lord give us different measures of faith. And it's our job to bring out the scriptures based on our experience, the things that we've been through, to convey to the people so it could help them so that they can strengthen themselves as well. So as we're growing in the scriptures, we have to adapt to the mentality of, you got to loose yourself from this world. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's something you have to really zone into your spirit. You gotta become an introspective person. You have to have the ability to examine yourself. I just want to read something real quick. Give me John chapter 21 and read verse 1. And we can take from the apostles, our forefathers, their examples, their learning curve that they had to go through as well, and have a more realistic perspective and understanding on how this thing actually works. Read.
John 21 verse 1.
Read.
After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias.
So this is after Christ died. He showed himself again. But how he showed himself was not in his, I'll say, his literal form that they're accustomed to seeing him in. Jesus Christ had the ability to change his form, change how he looked. At one instance in the Bible, he was mistaken for a gardener or mistaken for somebody else. He has the ability to change how he looks. The same thing we read about with Raphael in the book of Tobit. He was able to change the way he looked so it was not discerned that he was an archangel. Read.
And on this wise showed he himself. There were together Simon Peter and Thomas called Didymus and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the two sons of Zebedee and two other of his disciples.
So Peter is the head disciple out of all of them. So whatever Peter do, they're going to follow because Christ set him in charge. Read.
Simon Peter saith unto them, I go a fishing.
Stop. Peter had a business with fishing. That was his business, making money doing fishing. Okay? And the Lord appeared unto them, because here's another mistake that Peter was making. Peter made a lot of mistakes. He's the head apostle. He made a lot of mistakes. And this is one of his mistakes. After the Lord died, he was supposed to continue with the teaching, hit the ground running. But in his mind, because of that weakness that was still there, he went back to his job. Read.
They say unto him, we also go with thee.
So we're going to go with you, because whatever you do, we're gonna do that. You the head guy. Read.
They went forth and entered into a ship immediately. And that night they caught nothing.
And the Lord made it so that they didn't catch nothing. You wasting your time out there putting work before the Lord. And that's the same thing that happened with us today. Choose to put your work before the Lord and see what happened. You put your work, the Lord called you into this truth to do his work. Some people the Lord called to be helps, and he's not really hyper interactive in their lives as some others. Like for me, I'll speak for myself. I ain't getting away with certain things, right? So if I put work before the Lord will make my finances like a bag with the holes, like the scriptures say. You're going to put in all that work. I was working for no reason.
Damn.
You still struggling to pay your bills. You still struggling with this. You still struggling with that. You're not going nowhere because you're not putting me first. And I'm saying that from experience. That's real. That's something that I've had to come to understand as well. Put the Lord first. So it's the same thing going on right here with Peter. Initially at that time, he wasn't putting the Lord first. So the Lord said, okay, I'm not going to allow you to catch anything. Because if you can't catch any fish, that means you have nothing to sell. You ain't going to make no money. You out there wasting your time. You could have been spending that time doing my work. Read.
But when the morning was now come, Jesus stood on the shore.
So he came out there to rub it in his face now. He stood on the shore. Read.
But the disciples knew not that it was
part.
Jesus.
Read it again.
But the disciples knew not that it was Jesus.
They're walking with him for 3 years. I knew not that it was Jesus because he changed his form. His appearance looked different. They thought he was another person. Read.
Then Jesus saith unto them, Children, have ye any meat?
So here come the seemingly stranger asking them, children, have you any meat? He's sarcastic because he knew they ain't caught nothing. He knew they didn't catch anything. So he's asking, y'all caught any? Y'all have any meat? Read.
They answered him, No.
No, we ain't catch nothing. Read.
And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship.
Then Christ said, okay, now cast your net on the right side of the ship. Read.
And ye shall find.
And ye shall find. So what's the read?
Mm-hmm. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. Mm-hmm. Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved.
Stop. So they cast the net, and now they were not able to draw for the multitude. So it was so much fish that was caught in the net that they were not able, as a unit, as a team, to draw that net in because of the amount of fish that they got. So what was the lesson there? There's another lesson there. That's the Lord letting them know, I'm the one that provide for you. I control whether you receive or you don't receive. It's all up to me. And as long as you put me first, I'm going to take care of you. This goes back to Matthew 6. It was always training day with the disciples. When he said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, then all these things shall be added unto you. That is our priority. This truth has to be our priority. The reason why a lot of us don't get blessed and we don't evolve, even economically, financially in our lives, is because we don't put the Lord first. That's why. That's the reason why. And until we figure that out, your pockets will always be sparse and you'll always be struggling. But the Lord is showing a lesson here that you got to put me first. Put me first, and then I got you. And I'll give you way more than what you thought you was going to get. Do my work, and I'm going to add on to you what you need. Read.
Therefore,
and that goes into the faith now, our belief that the Lord will provide for us. A lot of us didn't make it to that. We have not taken that leap of faith to fully invest in the truth and say, you know what? The Lord got me. A lot of us are fearful. A lot of us, that's why we put our jobs first. And no, I have to because you ain't gonna pay my bills. You ain't gonna do this for me. That's an evil thought. That's an evil thought right there. We should not think that way. The Lord is the one that provide for us. It's not Shaltiel ain't gonna provide for me. Reuben ain't gonna. It's the Lord that do it. So we can't say, well, if the Lord is using a brother to correct you on, you need to make yourself more available. Okay, well, if I make myself more available, are you gonna pay my bills? You gonna take in my family? That's that disrespectful stuff that's Satan feeding you those thoughts.
It's emotional.
It's emotionalism. Mm-hmm. Read.
Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved saith unto Peter, it is the Lord.
So the disciple. So here go John, right? John is crazy. John is another character. Read that part again.
Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved.
Stop, right? Which book are we reading right now? John, right? Who the epistle of John was written by who? By John. But here goes John writing about himself in third person. Read it again.
Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved.
So John know that he's talking about himself, but John gonna say that disciple that the Lord loved. He had to run. It was a friendly competition with him and Peter. There was another account where he said that the disciple that loved the Lord the most, he ran faster than Peter to get to the sepulcher. It was a friendly competition with them. Okay, but so he's writing about himself. That makes it more human when you read about his brothers like me and you, right? So, and that's to make it more relatable for us. Read.
Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loves saith unto Peter, it is the Lord.
So John was able to discern. That's Christ. That's Christ. So John picked up quick. He picked up before Peter because he didn't appear like the Lord. He was just asking, y'all have any meat? And then he told them, put your net to the right side of the boat. And then mad fish came in the net. So John like, wait a minute. Nah, you the Lord. You the Lord. So John's faith was on another level for him to be able to discern that. Read.
Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him.
So when Peter heard it, he girt his fisher coat unto him. Read.
For he was naked.
Read.
And did cast himself into the sea.
And he jumped in the sea. Read.
And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire on coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Jesus saith unto them, bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fishes, 153.
All right, so just jump to verse 15 and we conclude the point.
Verse 15. So when they had dined, Jesus saith unto Simon
When they
Peter,
finished eating, Christ says to Peter, read.
Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?
You love me more than your work?
He saith unto him, Yea, Lord.
He said, yeah, man, I love you more. But that wasn't the case at that particular junction. That wasn't the case. He did grow into putting the Lord first. And the reason why I'm doing this is to show that same way we got growth stages and we had a certain perspective and then we had to grow out of that. We have these weaknesses. The apostles, the greatest out of all of us, they had these weaknesses too, and they overcame it because they had self-examination, they examined themselves and they fixed it. Read.
Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my lambs.
And feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. Strengthen your brothers like I told you to, and go and do the work. Read.
He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord.
So he asked him again, yo, you sure you love me? Peter said, yeah. Read.
Thou knowest that I love thee.
And the reason why he's asking him the same question multiple times is for Peter to be cut in himself and to see, oh, it's a reason why he's asking me this. And the reason why he's asking me the question, the way he's asking me, is because I'm not fulfilling what I'm supposed to be fulfilling. That was what Christ didn't just tell the disciples, spell it out for them. He didn't do that. This was training day, and Christ said things in a way where they had to take it, internalize it, and examine it and see what the Lord was trying to get to. That's the same way Bishop is. Bishop, you go around Bishop, and the same way the deacons are. You get around and they'll say something to you because they see a weakness in you, but they won't say directly like, yo, you dealing with this, brother, and you need... No, they don't do that. They're going to say it in a way where you have to figure it out. And in you figuring it out, you're developing strength. That's how master builders operate. They mention things to you indirectly for you to be able to figure it out because it's psychological, spiritual training. You're being trained on how to reflect, how to examine yourself. And when you get to that point, you're able to, from a truthful standpoint, say, you know what, let me fix this. Because if you tell somebody, yo, you're dealing with this, they may, from a fake standpoint, say, oh, yeah, I'm dealing with this, but they never really examined it. They never really got in tune with themselves to fix the issue. They're just saying it because it sounds good to the ear. Read.
Verse 17. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved.
So ask him a third time. When you read through the scriptures, when the Lord is dealing with Peter, he does things in series of 3. He speaks some when you read about with the Cornelius stuff. He said, arise, Peter, kill and eat. This happened 3 times. He says, the cock shall not crow thrice before that you deny me what? Twice? Something like that? Thrice. He denied him three times? Right. So the Lord does things with Peter in series of 3 because that's his learning curve. Some of us are hard-headed. John was able to get it quick. He's like, yo, that's the Lord right there. I already know. I can discern it. I'm on point. I'm the one that he loved the most anyway. But then Peter was the hard-headed one. It took a curve for him to get it.
Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time.
So like you ask somebody 3, like, yo, what are you trying to say? Like, you asking me 3 times. What do you mean? What are you hinting to? What are you insinuating? Read.
Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things.
You know, you can read my mind. Here's the disrespectful stuff now. You can read my mind. You could tell. He got an attitude now because, you know what I mean? The Lord is asking him. So the Lord was telling Peter, you full of shit, without telling him he full of shit. So Peter picked up, that's what the Lord was saying, and it grieved him. Read.
Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, feed my sheep. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest.
You wanted to do what you wanted to do when you was young. But now you get older now, Peter Reed.
But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands.
You're going to do my work. And when you doing my work, it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to stretch forth your hand, Reed.
And another shall gird thee.
And you're going to get arrested for doing my work, Reed.
And carry thee whither thou wouldest not.
And you're going to be in prison and you're going to be crucified. You're going to be, that's what they did with Peter, right? They crucified him upside down. So he's telling him his work that was cut out for him. He's saying this is what you need to focus on. Stop worrying about work. That stuff, it's here today and gone tomorrow. Do not make work the central point of where you give all your existence, your life to, your energy to. Put the Lord first. That was a message. Now, all of us have to go through different stages in order to get to that understanding.
Hey, so that was an excellent point. So for the sake of time, let me just get these 3 scriptures. Go to 2 Ezra 14. How do we fix it? Because all of these things, like Officer Jai was bringing out perfectly, it takes time. It has to go into your programming. You have to see yourself differently. You have to change your outlook. And in the video, it even said it. These things, these weak things are habits. That's what it is. They're bad habits. Patterns of unrighteous works, so to speak. Like it says in Titus, we must show a pattern of good works. What are those good works? The applying of God's laws. So how do we fix it? 2 Ezra 14, verse 14. Yep.
2 Ezra chapter 14 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
Let go from the mortal thoughts.
So you have to let go from yourself mortal thoughts. What are the mortal thoughts that we deal with on a daily basis? Work, your level of comfort, your fears, all of your low vibrational thoughts, I guess, so to speak, all of those things that hinder you, all of your doubts, all of your worries and your cares. You have to let those things go. Read on.
Cast away the burdens of man.
The burdens of man. You worried about your job. You worried about your finances when the Lord is who makes you poor and who makes you rich. The Lord is who sets you up in a higher state or brings you down to a lower state. The Lord is who makes you honorable or dishonorable. All of that is in the Lord's hand, and can't nobody separate or take that away. No man can. No man can fix that for you. Only God can do that. That's God's power right there. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, he put the Wells Fargo account on 0, bro.
That's crazy.
But that's so real. Put it back, man. My bad, Shaw.
Nah, you good.
This is real right here. And you worked your ass off the day before, the week before, and your balance ended up being at $0 and 0.00 cents.
He ain't lying.
And you want to know what's crazy with that? Brothers will see that and be like, you know what? When the opportunity arises, when Satan comes through, just at that moment when you looking at that checking account, right there, Satan come through. Yo, I got a job that you can take on the Sabbath. I got a job that you can make. You can make $45 an hour. You work this Sabbath day.
You got brothers right now working on the Sabbath.
Ooh,
for $40.
ooh, with a sound bite. There we go. Thank you.
It's probably the brother that's pushing the sound button.
Oh snap! It's an evil world we live in. Yo, finish that up.
Hell no.
Put off now the weak nature.
And you got to understand that that weakness is a weak nature. It's not of God. It's not even of man. It's a feminine nature. The lack of accountability, the emotional instabilities, not being able to regulate yourself, always looking to point the finger and find an excuse. All of these things are feminine traits. You are not operating as a man, because there's no such thing as a weak man. That's a woman. At the end of the day, men are supposed to be strong, especially men in the Lord. We're supposed to be strong.
That's right.
So let's continue real quick. Job chapter 22. Job chapter 22 and verse 20, and we're going to wrap it up on this. Job chapter 22, verse 21. Verse 21.
Job chapter 22 and verse 21. Acquaint now thyself with him and be at peace.
So you have to acquaint yourself with the Lord. Our brothers right now, like I said, our brothers right now are looking for examples, whether they know it or not. Our men that are out in the world are looking for examples. Our sisters are looking for strong men. You have to acquaint yourself now with the Lord. That means you have to study. That means you have to be focused. You have to be locked in. You have to always be looking for the godly discourse and never disdain or try to not hear it. That's what the scriptures say. You're supposed to acquaint yourself with the godly discourse. You're not supposed to try to shy away from it, leave away from it. It be late nights. Leadership going through mad scriptures, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Brothers nodding. falling asleep. Oh, I gotta leave. I gotta go home. This, that, and the third. You despising the discourse. You must acquaint yourself now with this. Acquaint yourself with the Lord. Go ahead.
Thereby good shall come unto thee.
Why? Because wisdom is being brought out. You don't think we talk about finances? You don't think we talk about how to build other men, how to take care of your children, how to take care of your wife? You don't think that we talk about these things? You don't think that leadership is bringing out, they're men of experience. Likewise, when we out on the corners, we're giving that to you, brothers. For all of y'all that are listening, that's not part of this. Pay attention. This is what we do. Acquaint yourself now with him. Read on.
Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth.
And you have to receive the law and apply the law. That's how you take it. Right. The scriptures tell you that all scripture is given by inspiration of God. It's profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction. You want to learn how to get your house in order? Keep the laws of God. You want to learn how to be proactive? Keep the laws of God. You want to learn how to better your community? Keep the laws of God and teach them.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart.
And you have to meditate daily. That goes into the programming. You have to condition yourself. You have to change your thought process. You can't be the same man as you were. That's why I said when the Spirit of the Lord came upon Saul, he was transformed into another man. That's what the Spirit of the Lord does for you. That's if you're in the Spirit. You can't get that from drugs. Brothers try to escape through drugs and alcohol and all types of nonsense, porn, video games. Y'all got so many weak excuses instead of just doing the work. You have to be transformed. Go ahead. Last verse.
If thou return to the Almighty.
That's two-letter word. Two-letter word with a big meaning. It says if thou shalt return unto the Almighty. Because it's a choice. You can either stay down, lay down, lack accountability, all of those horrible traits. Oh, I can't control my eating habits, so I'm just going to stay in the red 24/7 so you can't go to camp. You hate your people. Oh, I'd rather work and just stress and work all day instead of just trusting in the Lord to take care of those things or being proactive and finding a new job. But you rather stay comfortable and deal with breaking the Lord's Sabbath day, all of these different things.
It's a thing. There's a new thought process we got to develop, right? Before we used to, with the brothers that I came in with, the thought process. Okay, you looking for a job. You in the truth. Okay, make sure you don't find a job. You don't get a job where the job you requires you to work on Saturday, right? But now even with that, you got to elevate because it's much bigger than that. When we are when we're searching for a job, your job has to be catering to this truth and not the other way around. You cannot be here available for the truth, and then all of that availability changes once you get a new job. That's like priorities being placed backwards. Now, everybody has to come to that place where you make that decision for yourself, but it's a way of thinking. That way of you have to grow into that way of thinking. You have to develop that, because if you don't, then you will not really last in this truth. If you don't put the Lord first, you're not growing, you're not evolving, then you will not be able to grow with the body when the Lord, because each stage, the Lord is the one that brings the body to different stages, and the body will go to different stages. So if you don't meet the requirement to be on that next stage with the body, then you got to go. That's why there's a shed of people that the Lord discards after a certain amount of time. That's the Lord's process with this truth. So if you don't fit in that category of the brothers and sisters that are growing and developing in the Spirit, then you're going to fall away. The Lord will put that spirit on you where you don't have the mentality, I don't want to come to the Sabbath no more. I don't feel like I want to keep the commandments. The Lord will put that spirit on you because you're not putting him first. That's what will happen.
Finish out that verse.
If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacle.
And that's how you put away the weak nature. You got to return unto the Lord. You have to return unto the Lord. So with that, we're going to conclude the level up segment and get ready for the main class. Make sure that y'all stay tuned in. Let's go.
Across the earth, the prophets move.
From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.